Hiya, so today I'm going to be making a fish pie, and though I shared it on my weekly meals, someone asked for a more detailed video. So that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm just using this Bassa fillets from Aldi. This is really inexpensive, this fish, and it says here that it's farmed responsibly, so I like to get things like that. Actually 3 pieces in here, which fills the bottom of my dish, my Pyrex dish, really well. So I'm going to start by putting them in there. Okay, so in this Pacific bag there's actually 4 pieces, but I suppose these 2 are smaller because normally there's 3 in a bag and they're just like perfectly sized, but that's fine. But I'm going to cook them for a little while so I can move them as I want them. So I'm just going to add some marge in and some salt and pepper, and I'm going to start cooking these in the oven. So I just put, I don't really measure, I just put a bit in. And some salt and pepper. I'm just going to put this in the oven. I set my oven to 200, which I think is 400, depending on your oven, if it's Fahrenheit or whatever. So yeah, I'm going to start making my roux. So to start with my roux, I'm going to add some marge. I've put my heat on, so I'm just going to add some salt and pepper. Not a lot. Because it's from scratch, obviously it has absolutely no seasoning, so you're creating that seasoning. So once this butter's melted, I'm then going to add a couple of tablespoons of plain flour to make my roux. Butter is melted. I've just taken it off the heat and turned it down because I don't want it to burn. So I'm going to add in my flour. Going to have a heaped tablespoon. I'm going to put that back on heat. So it's looking like that. Now I'm going to add some milk, a little at a time. So I'm going to add a little bit and then stir. Turn that so you can see, and then you just keep adding more milk and whisking. So just to recap, I put my butter in and melted that down. I put some salt and pepper and then added a heaped tablespoon of flour, and then I added milk slowly and surely. It's now, all the lumps have gone, it's runny. That's fine, I'll put it on the heat and it will thicken back up. But just keep an eye on it, it's not something that you can just leave and walk away, because when you come back it'll be ruined and lumpy and a hot mess again. If you was to make, this is obviously a white sauce, if you was to make a cheese sauce, you would do exactly the same, but at this point you would take the whisk out, add in some shredded cheese, and then use a wooden spoon and just mix the cheese in, and that's how you'd make like a cheese sauce. But obviously for a fish pie, I don't want cheese sauce, I want white sauce. But if you're making lasagna, you would make a cheese sauce that way. So I'm just going to whisk this until it thickens. So I've just taken my sauce off the heat and moved it over, because it's now thick. It doesn't take long, it literally takes minutes to thicken. So I'm going to allow that to cool slightly, and I'm just going to keep whisking it every now and then so I don't get the sort of skin on top. I'm going to grab my fish out of the oven and see where we're at with that. So my fish has started to defrost, and obviously the butter has started to melt. Like I said, there's 4 pieces instead of 3, but that's fine. I'm going to add my veg. I pretty much just add whatever veg I have on hand at the time. I'm going to use this mixed veg. I really like this one because the carrots and everything is really like tiny. It's really small. But then I also want broccoli and cauliflower in it as well. But I think I'm just going to put a few in, cut them up and make them smaller. So I'm going to do that now. I want the bits that are small like that really, but I can just cut them up, it's fine. So now I'm going to take my white sauce and I'm going to place that over the top. So here's what it's looking like. I'm just going to continue cooking it in the oven for a few more minutes while I sort of start my mashed potato, and then I'm going to cut down the big pieces of vegetables just because they are really big for the type of meal, and I kind of want to sort of hide them within the dinner so they're easier to eat for the children especially. So I'm going to So I've just put my potatoes on to boil. I've pulled out my fish and my veg. I'm just going to take a clean pair of scissors and I'm going to cut up them big bits of veg. And you can see can you see that? There's one bit of fish there, there's one bit of fish there, another one there, another one there, so they're nice and even at the bottom of the pan. And then obviously I've got my white sauce and my mini veggie, and we're just waiting on the potatoes now. Okay, so I went to drain and mash my potato. I didn't record that bit because it's very simple. This video is getting so long. I'm going to lay this on top of my fish sauce and veg. I didn't mention I left it out while they was cooking, and in case you was wondering why and thinking, well, potatoes take longer, so surely you should have done that before you made this. I need this to cool to set ever so slightly. If you can see, it's set ever so slightly, and that's because I want the potato to sit nicely on top. And if this was freshly done and piping hot, it would just seep in and you don't get the layers. And then I've gone on to grate some cheese for the top. So when I'm doing this bit, I always use a little spoon because I think it's easier. Sorry if that banging is annoying you. To get it to sit on top, whereas if I take a big scoop and dollop it, then it just sinks. wherever you put it. So I don't know if that's like dispersing the weight, or I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I'm trying to make it sound way more technical than it really is. But that's pretty much what I do all over. Do that all over. So I just flattened the top down with the edge of the spoon, and now I'm going to put the cheese on top. So I'm now going to put this in the oven and cook it until the cheese is nice and crispy, and that's how I kind of distinguish when it's done. And that's a side view. I'll show you what it's looked like once it's cooked. So here's my fish pie straight out of the oven. I'll show you what it looks like plated up. And here's what it looks like plated up. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye.